Thinking Real Estate.
I'm texting. I'm trying to solve your pothole complaint.
We're in day 4 of the McGuire Street pothole watch.
It's costing you. Are you paying for these weights? Is weights donate? How are you getting? Who's paying for the weights certificates? Because if you're paying, it's costing you a lot of money.
The Whites are paying for it.
Oh, okay.
They trust me implicitly. White's Restaurant.
Well, I can understand that,
yeah.
and they're awesome. They're my.
We just got
favorite.
a call from somebody on McGuire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
thanking
you got
us.
them.
Thanking us for trying to assist them in being able to travel on that street.
Well.
Hey, Bill's here on the hotline. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, good morning, Greg. How are you?
I'm good.
He's.
I don't know if we have a topic, but.
He's in northern Michigan.
Oh, are you?
And you know how you said we don't have rain here? Bill claims it rained all day up there yesterday.
Well, there's a lot of rain up there today.
Is it raining there, Bill?
Yeah, I'm in Powell City, Greg, and it poured up here all day yesterday. Just a little bit of rain this morning. I haven't even checked the forecast.
You know, there's nothing like a Thursday in Tawas City.
Particularly when the temperature on that course overlooking the lake is 48 degrees.
Yeah, and it's probably going to snow there tonight.
Is it really?
Yeah, it could.
That's all right. I was in Marquette. I left Jackson on Monday. It was like 83 or 84 degrees. And I got to Marquette. I couldn't fly because of the weather, so I had to drive. And it was 47 degrees. And then in the morning like that, it was pouring rain. The morning it was 41 degrees. And there just wouldn't be a good start to snow.
Well, it's going to be freezing up there tonight.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm here.
Anyway. All right, well, what are we talking about?
Well, you know, Greg's been complaining about McGuire, but I was going to challenge his McGuire to East Washington out there by Certainty or Crescent Street where Jackie lives.
We've been complaining about Crescent for a long
Yeah.
time.
Maybe there's more roads.
Crescent cannot be as bad as McGuire. Yeah, it cannot.
I don't know. Maybe we should.
I will praise
I wonder
this.
if White's would sponsor a contest. People could go online, or they could tweet you or what have you and vote.
I will praise the city for at least filling up 4th Street.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I mean,
Oh,
that was
awful.
so
That gets
embarrassing.
a lot of traffic.
Just embarrassing.
Okay, well, I'm texting our city manager about the pothole on McGuire.
Well, there's
And
more
he
than
knows
one.
about. He knows
you
about.
can't- you
Well, I
can't
told
miss
him
one.
about the French Foreign Legion being in one of them.
Right.
So he should go look for
And
him.
the other one, there's large farm animals in the other one.
Oh, you
If-
want me to
if-
put that in here?
If people are missing large farm animals, they're in those potholes.
All right, so we've talked about I've addressed your weather, I've addressed your pothole. I just.
Missing a lot in Jackson while I've been gone or something. That's the extent of the big news of Jackson in the 4 days I've been out.
Well, when you're not here, there's no news to be made.
Hey, if you
I'm just saying.
if you live on McGuire, that's big news. Yeah.
Well, I know somebody who lives on McGuire.
Well, there you go.
Well, no,
On McGuire.
Well, they did live at McGuire.
Yeah, right.
They moved. They probably fell in the pothole and never came out.
They could see. They may be gone.
It's a sinkhole. It's not a pothole.
It is. It looks like a sinkhole.
Now, what about that Oklahoma? When people want to live in Michigan, we don't have those problems. Aren't you glad?
Well,
I
we
feel
have
bad.
tornadoes.
Not like that.
Well, nobody's ever had an E5, have they?
I don't know. I don't keep track of the numbers.
All right.
There is.
I thought Joplin did 2 years ago, but I could be wrong.
I think that was an E4, but
Did you do the news?
Whatever it was devastating, and you look at it, and it's terrible. Okay, so what was the topic for today? What do you
Yeah,
do? What
yeah.
on your show for? That's how come you got me.
Oh, I do. Well, I just wanted to also mention I just came from the Allegiance Breakfast for Business, and Allegiance has got some cool stuff going on. So talk about an organization that's real supportive of this community. We got the residency program coming up, which is going to generate a lot of income in this, a lot of money being generated.
Now, are they looking for homes?
There's split, I think, between buying and renting.
I think they're mostly
I
renting
think,
right now.
yeah, a lot of them are renting. I know that some of them are looking at houses, but I think that a lot of them are renting just primarily because they don't know where they want to end up as far as in the community.
Well, some of them are going to be here probably just 2 years, right?
I think the shortest program was 1 year.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but the majority, the next ones are 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
So, I think the emergent was, which one had the most residents in it? The 17?
Family care, I think, or family medicine.
And I think that was a 4-year, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna have, Pam from Allegiance Health, and
Bring her on.
who's the speaker, I'm gonna have her come in probably sometime, first part of June, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So Bill, I thought we could talk to you about, this week I had a client come in, I'm talking to her about her house, and she had a lease with an option to buy, $3,000 down, non-refundable, and these people are not maintaining the property, so she's going to evict them. However, they don't even mow the lawn, of course, and the house is in the city, happens to be over by where Greg lives, and,
Okay. What does that have to do with it?
well, it's valuable neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not mowing the lawn, they're not picking up garbage, things like that, and she's been cited because she's the property owner of record, and since it's only a lease with an option, is the property owner. They're threatening her with a lawsuit if she comes on their property.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and now I'm really baffled.
Sounds like a double lawsuit, Bill.
No, so she's the owner of the property and she leases to these people, with an option to purchase, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, and then the people have not exercised the option and they haven't closed on the sale, correct?
No, they have 3 years to exercise the option.
Well, they don't own she owns the property, they're still subject to the lease, and so she has the right as a landlord to inspect the property, she's got to give them reasonable notice, things like that. If they're damaging the property, et cetera, she's got to look at the lease, I assume it's a written lease, it's got to be, so she looks at the lease, should contain a right to inspect on reasonable notice, and even if it doesn't, if they are causing harm, she still has the right to evict them. The fact they have an option is that's, I don't want to say irrelevant to the lease itself. They're two separate instruments, and so she's entitled to enforce the lease. There's no question about that one.
Yeah, the lease means nothing right now.
The
I
option.
mean the option.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's the way it is. Usually an option reads that they must not be in default of their obligations under the lease. In other words, the two are tied together. The option should read something like, so long as the tenant is not in default of the lease, or so long as the tenant is not in default. In other words, they may have defaulted sometime during the 3 years, but they cured the default by paying the past due rent or whatever it is, so the option is still good. But typically, at the time the option is to be exercised, they have to be in compliance with the lease, or at least substantial compliance with the lease. So she does have rights under it. And what she needs to go talk to a lawyer. She needs to talk to a lawyer that's experienced in landlord-tenant law, and who can specifically advise her. I'm giving general advice here that the person.
Do you know any lawyer like that, Bill?
Don't come to me. I'm out of town at the moment.
Oh, jeez.
Bigger fish at the
Here
moment.
I'm trying to get you some business.
You do have Jeff Fraunfelker,
Yeah.
who does a great job with landlord-tenant stuff, so.
I have an associate who does all the landlord-tenant stuff in my office, and he would be happy to advise somebody on the lease. There are other lawyers in town who also are knowledgeable landlord-tenant. I don't like to use this show as simply trying to get business from my law firm.
And of course you didn't. I brought that upon myself, Bill.
He,
Greg, I did want to say that obviously the house has more value because with someone like you living in it, we call that a celebrity neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, you must get bus tours, we gotta get that road fixed.
the appraiser takes that into account.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Beautiful.
Sightseeing. So in the lease, you seem to be talking quite quickly. I don't know if you're in a hurry or not, but what do you define as, what's defined as reasonable notice? These people said you got to give us 2 weeks notice. Well, 2 weeks from now the grass is going to be knee high by the 4th of July, right?
Usually 24 hours is reasonable.
That's what I would say. That's what's in our lease, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think the current lease that you have has a specific time. It says the day before or something like that. It doesn't say number of hours.
Well, what's the problem besides what the grass hasn't been cut? Are there other issues? Or
But there's the lease says that they'll maintain the house. Now, it's a rental unit.
Mhm.
It's in the city of Jackson. The city of Jackson has the rental registry.
Right.
City went through and did an inspection, has a list of repairs.
Yeah.
The lease says that they will maintain and take care of any repairs. Whose responsibility is that, Bill?
Well, again, you gotta look at the lease, and there's a difference between repairs and structural modifications. In other words, if it turns out that there's a leak in the basement that's caused by a bad foundation, that's not gonna be the tenant's responsibility. It's a condition that existed in the property, unless it was caused by the tenant, which is doubtful. So you have to look at what the nature of the defect or condition is that is cited by the city. You know, if it's a staircase that has treads that are too narrow, that's not the responsibility of the tenant, that's the responsibility of the landlord. If it's the fact that the trash isn't getting picked up, or there's trash around the property, and the lease provides the trash collection as the responsibility of the tenant, then that's the tenant's gonna take care of that. So you gotta look at the lease, and then also look at what the condition is that's cited by the city.
So one of the conditions that was cited was lack of gutters. So I assume
That's,
it's,
that's not the tenant.
okay.
That's the landlord's responsibility. Unless the lease says something otherwise, that's typically gonna be the landlord's responsibility.
And then her concern was in the that was drafted, there were paragraphs or, I don't know, conditions or whatever you wanna call them, that were not legal in the state of Michigan. Does that affect the lease in any way?
You'd have to tell me what those provisions are. Yeah, you've got two basic statutes. Excuse me. You've got, in fact, three. You've got the Security Deposit Act, you've got the Truth in Renting Act, and you have the Anti-Lockout Statute that stops a landlord from using extrajudicial means, you know, using, like changing the locks to lock the tenant out, things like that. You can't do that. But do you have some specifics in terms of what was put into the lease?
I do not. I didn't read it.
Yeah, well, if you read the Truth in Renting Act is the one that probably applies, and the Truth in Renting Act prohibits the inclusion of certain clauses in a residential lease, such as waiver of jury trial and some other provisions. I mean, it's interesting to say that because in one of the depositions we had on this in Marquette the other day, there's just a small issue that the property there was a lease option in that case, and the lawyer who drafted the lease put in a 6-month prepayment clause so that the tenant actually paid 6 months advance rent. Well, the Security Deposit Act says you can't do that. The most you can charge is 2 months rent plus a half month, so 2.5 months rent is the most you can collect at the end of a residential lease, with a couple of very limited exceptions. So.
Wait, so I can't accept someone, so I have a security deposit on one of our tenants, let's say, and they bring me in 6 months worth of rent, I can't accept that rent?
No, you can't accept it. You just can't put in the lease that it's a requirement of the lease.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah, no, if they want to voluntarily prepay rent, they may do so. You just as landlord can't put that provision in the lease.
Oh, okay.
One of the exceptions is if there's the prepaid rent is also considered a payment toward an option price at the end. That is one of the exceptions, very limited exception.
Are you taking calls?
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Morning. I got a quick question here.
Yeah.
A while back there was a renter place, and the man was making crack cocaine, and they shut it down, and then they rented it again, and the man was still sitting in the fumes, he ended up in the hospital.
Uh-huh.
And now there's children living in the same house again. I mean, where does a neighbor, or why does the city or somebody that allows ringing do something about this?
Interesting question. Bill?
I couldn't hear them all.
A house had crack cocaine in it. They evicted them. Then they re-rented it. The next tenant got sick.
Yep.
And then the next tenant has kids in it. So it sounds like the house was rented after the crack without getting it cleaned. That'd be like meth. I mean,
I haven't been through this with a landlord with a crack cocaine tenant in it, but I've represented a couple landlords where meth was being cooked in the particular unit, and there the unit is shut down. In fact, adjacent units can be shut down. We have testing done by an environmental firm to determine whether or not there are any of the chemicals used in the process, there are residues,
So if I knew as a landlord that there was crack in there being cooked or what, how, I don't know how you make crack. So, and,
I don't know what, I mean, I don't know enough about cocaine or crack cocaine, and I've never had a landlord that's experienced that kind of problem in a residential unit, so I don't know what steps have to be taken.
right, but we do know about meth, so let's pretend it's meth. So let's say as a landlord, I find out there's meth being done in there. I evict them, but I don't notify any authorities.
You know, you notify the authorities, you have a responsibility to notify the authorities. You contact the authorities will contact the health department, the cops will come out, they'll bust whoever's doing the meth in the unit, if in fact they're doing it. The health department and the cops will put tape around the unit so that they can't enter. They'll then conduct tests, the health department will conduct testing to determine whether it's safe to go in without protective gear. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes the levels are such that they're there, but you don't have to wear protective gear. And then there are procedures for removing, environmentally safely removing the contaminated materials. And I say some of it has to be actually dumped, taken out, and removed from the unit and replaced with new.
So knowing about something and not disclosing it will be quite expensive for the person who knew and did not disclose, because you will eventually be found out about.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think.
You know, all it does is increase your liability. There's also a statute, the Michigan Environmental Statute, that requires a seller or a landlord to disclose to a prospective purchaser or a prospective tenant the fact that the property is a, quote, facility or is contaminated with materials that are considered hazardous substances at levels above what are known as residential criteria. This specific statute, and it was held in a decision by the Michigan Court of Appeals about 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, to apply to landlords as well as tenants. Landlords as well as sellers.
What if, Bill, somebody was doing meth, they just simply left, the landlord had no clue, next person comes in, gets sick, is the landlord still responsible?
I doubt it. My position would be represent a landlord. I didn't know about the condition.
Mhm.
Now, as long as the landlord does something immediately upon being notified of the condition, in other words, if one of my client landlords called me and said, look, tenant says they found evidence that meth was being cooked in the attic or something like that, I would immediately tell my client, contact the cops, contact health department, contact an environmental consultant, have that property tested, get that tenant out of there right now. So you take immediate and reasonable precautions to protect the tenant and the tenant's family. You can put it into another unit. As long as you as a landlord take those measures and you don't simply ignore it, and the tenant then gets harmed as a result of your failure to act.
Bill, we're out of time. We're going to let you get back to your party. Thanks, Bill.
It's right. Thanks, Greg.
Take care.
Okay, well, I'll call you in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So, just a couple things I want to mention before we fade into the afternoon.
To the clouds.
Yeah, the clouds. The cruise in downtown, first one is this Friday. What time does it start, Jackie?
I think it starts at 6:30. Talking to you. But I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think you can go to the downtown.
Well, it's 5 o'clock.
It was
right now.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It starts?
Oh, okay, well, there you go. You knew. You
Yeah.
must be announcing it. The Jackson Association of Realtors is doing a home expo on June 1st at the Jackson Crossing from 10 to 2. That's a pretty cool, that will be fun, and there's a lot of activities going on. And then, favorite listing today, I guess, would be 4900 Oak Point, since the Memorial Day weekend is fast approaching. Time to buy your lakefront property. This is channel front. Cool house with 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,500 plus square feet. All like brand new on the inside. It is 100, almost 200 feet of frontage on the channel. It's an amazing piece of property. 374, 650.
That's Wolf Lake?
That is Wolf Lake. So, there you have it. I've got more, but you don't have time.
Phone number?
780-3800, or email me at laura@780-3800, or go to thinkingrealestate.com.
If you Borrowing your buddy's truck and doing it yourself, you have no idea what you're in.